3. So, welcome to the Body Temple Institute's Master Herbalist class 3, lesson 8. We're seeking to help a person unlearn the disease process. And that's essentially what, as healers, our intention is to do. We're not people who treat disease. We are people who help people to move out of the disease process. Yes. So we are people who help. We are people as healers. Our goal and responsibility, standard and law, is that we help people to move and eliminate the disease from their bodies. That's different than treating the disease. Treating the disease means that you are literally making a comfortable place for the disease to live, in essence. Because in essence, when somebody treats you to dinner, let's take a look at the word. When somebody treats you to dinner, then they're providing a comfortable dinner, something wonderful. The ambiance, everything's nice for someone to treat you. And I know the connotation may be different, but in our minds, and then as we see with people who have high blood pressure, or they take medication for this disorder or that disorder, even for anxiety, they are not treating, they're not addressing the actual disorder in order to stop the disorder from progressing in their life, or the disease from progressing in their life. They're simply making the body more comfortable and adapt more easily to carrying the disease. So high blood pressure medication takes the water off of your body, but it doesn't allow the kidneys to do what they're supposed. They're supposed to take that excess water off of your body. It doesn't support your body in functioning properly. It animates your body falsely in order to make the body more comfortable in carrying the disease. In carrying the disorder, someone is given pain medication or sedative medication that they intend that and eventually they end up, can become addicted to. So they, in essence, make the person more comfortable in carrying a disorder that is something that is alien to the body. So what we're seeking to do is to bring the body into harmony, so that the body cannot be in argument with itself, that it is in alignment with itself. In this class, I'm not going to teach from the script. I'm just going to talk about spirit, because the body is not just flesh. The body is not just flesh and bone. The body is not just to be fed fuel so they can keep going. And what we're looking at in society is that people are taking in foods unconsciously. They're taking in energy, going into energy unconsciously, but we've been trained to do that. We've been trained to do this. We've been trained to think that we can go anywhere that we want to go. We've been trained to feel that that's our freedom. We've been trained to feel comfortable taking ourselves into any environment and talking to anyone, and also to consuming from any locale, any place that there's food, even stopping on the side of the road at a truck, at a food truck, and wherever, and purchasing food. We've been trained to feel like there used to be a time in which, I always say this, I always say this, y'all probably can say it too. It's been a time in which we didn't eat everybody's food. And when I say we didn't eat everybody's food, like, we was racist, literally, with our food selections, because we didn't eat Mexicans' food. We didn't eat Caucasians' food because their food was, their food wasn't as seasoned as we like it. But now it's a treat to go to Olive Garden. It's a treat to go to Papa Do's. It's a treat to go to the Indian restaurant. It's a treat to go to many other places that are people who sometimes may not even speak English, who are cooking the foods, or may not even speak our language as quote unquote Ebonics. You know what I'm saying? We eat from these people. And what we consume in our mouths is the quintessential, and what we consume, excuse me, I'm even going to go into skin, a cosmetic consumption as well. These things can create diseases and disorder in the body that can disarrange the body's natural harmony and homeostasis, causing disease. I always have to go in on that because we've become more and more and more and more and more and more and more lax, to the point where to consume in foreign and to put on alien and to wear these things is normal, and to be natural is not normal. To be natural is not normal. To the extent that, now I'm gonna blow your mind, to the extent that not taking medication at 50 years old is not normal. To the extent that choosing to, if you choose not to have health insurance, that's not normal. If you don't have health insurance, you're penalized for it. Okay, let's say you can't afford it. But what if you don't have it by choice? Because you are choosing to take into your own responsibility your own life. This is what I'm saying. In unlearning the disease process, we have to go farther out. I can say, how do we unlearn the disease process of diabetes? No, we need to go farther out to where we are not even, we don't even have to, we're to where we don't even get diabetes. To where we can eliminate diabetes and never see that mug stanky again. That's essentially, as healers, where we have to be able to offer someone health assurance, not health insurance, health assurance. Health assurance, you can assure yourself of health because you know what you're eating. You can assure yourself of health because you know what products you're using on your body. You can assure yourself of health because you know how to get out of the disorder process. Thus, my children caught a respiratory infection 6 days ago. I caught it 4 days ago. I am just now eating after 4 days of liquid fasting. And my children, the biddies, the little babies, they started off the process with snot. Oh my gosh, they couldn't even, the snot closed up their nostrils. So we worked on them. After 3 days, they were clear totally. After 1 day, they began to diminish. So diminish until finally there was no mucus. And then now they have no mucus 6 days later. 4 days later, I have postnasal drip is all, and I'm clearing the situation. So this is what I'm saying, to know how you can navigate through a situation. It's not saying that you're never going to get sick, because there's viruses out there. You know, we have viruses and bacteria that are foreign to our body that can cause these things to happen. However, how do you navigate out of it? Do you have control of your body enough to say, we are not eating. We're not about to eat. No eating. Let me just cut this out, focus in, and navigate myself out of this situation. Navigate myself out of this upper respiratory infection. Put my foot down. Enemas every night, making sure this stuff, if there's a clear path so this gets out. Taking my golden seal and olive leaf, making sure I'm drinking water, staying hydrated so that my body functions properly, and we're moving out of this process. That's the standard for a healer, that you don't walk around with a cough for 2 months. You're not walking around and you're still putting out mucus 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you're still blowing your nose. No. These situations you have to be able to bring them together, bring it under control. And those of us whom are obsessive compulsive and control freaks, yeah, it's your responsibility to go ahead and I'm saying handle that. That's something that you should handle too. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're willing to tighten the reins on someone in your life, tighten the reins on the health, your health, and maintain it in your life. You know, that's the objective. So with that, you remain. The disease process happens, and I really love this class in particular, because this class talks about how our psychology creates our physiology. Our psychology creates our physiology. So you'll find people whom are chronically depressed. They may not know it, but their life is not congruent. Their life is not congruent. They're chronically depressed, and they're saying that they're angry or they're frustrated or they're broke, they don't have any money, or they say they're depressed. They're feeling so frustrated often. And you'll find that their life, however, if they would just bring order to themselves, they would be okay. Then that means if they can't bring a natural order, then it's talking about depression. Their body language is depression. We don't realize that the society creates a depression. When you have blonde hair, blue-eyed women on billboards smiling at you as the image of beauty. When you have people with Mercedes Benz or BMWs driving down the streets and you feel like you should have one. When you're feeling that people are having more fun than you, or people will tell you, you don't get out enough, or you need to do this with your life. These things create depression, peer pressure, peer oppression, media oppression, societal standards that you may have grew up with. These things create depression. So this is how we have to help them by counseling to navigate their way out of that depression. Depression often causes constipation in the body because it causes you to crave foods to help you and crave foods that give you some sunlight in your day, like some things that make you feel so good. Some people need that that bread. Oh, I just love this type of bread. Or you hear people say, but I love creamy stuff. So they can't give up dairy, because dairy is dairy is what helps them through the day. Or they like the chemical in the caffeine in coffee, and they're looking for that coffee high. Really, they're trying to escape depression. Or the dry crunch of potato chips or French fries, potatoes. These or sugar in the form of some sort of breaded donut or some sort of candy or something, or even sugar, the lots and lots of sugar in their tea or coffee, or in their beverage. And they're drinking artificial colors, flavors, or sugars. That taste, they need that to like get through the day. Now we watch out, because these are, one, addictive personalities, and two, they're cover-ups. We're going to put those things like right here. The reason why is because we're unlearning the disease process. But to unlearn the disease process, you have to assess how you got there. So I probably should write that down. Food addiction, depression, depression and food addictions are big deals. In addition to that, habitual behaviors. Okay, yeah. So just to be clear, your note should kind of mirror this. It also should include, we have to have self-assessments. And so that first part of the self-assessment is a relation to understanding depression. Because our psychology creates our physiology. Two, we have to understand the nature of addiction and addictive behaviors. Understanding addiction and addictive behaviors. That look crazy. I'm just saying my handwriting. I could never be a whiteboard scholar. Understanding our addiction and addictive behaviors. We don't really pay attention to the fact that we're addicted to the feeling or the opiates that are given off when we drink wine or when we drink alcohol or when we eat food or smoke. We don't really understand why we keep going back to that. Then we have a situation like low bone density. And a lot of Google scholars are saying, a lot of those Google herbalists don't want to give up smoking, but they don't realize how smoking is connected to calcium absorption. And so they find themselves coming up short. We don't realize how and then here's another thing too. Going in, we don't realize how smoking and drinking, we often think, when we think of addiction, we often think of smoking and drinking. And we also often think of drugs. But we don't think about how much oxygen smoking is taking from your body. We don't think about that. We don't think about how much liver cleansing filter degeneration that drinking is doing to your body. That is toxin. We don't really, when we think about behaviors, we think of drinking and smoking, the numerous things, and pill popping, but we don't realize how degenerative it is to our inner body. So I'm not trying to that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to place a stigma on drinking or smoking because people think it's dirty, or you using drugs, or blah, 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 blah. No, I'm saying this is what it does to your health. Ultimately, you become intoxicated because you're full of toxins. What's the root word? Toxin and intoxicated. And this degenerates your tissues and stops it from its ability to generate and regenerate energy and regenerate vital force. Y'all feel me on that? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So when we become addicted, that leads me into my next piece. We're not paying attention to an addiction. An addiction goes into so I'm having this discussion about with my older daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, and she says, you know, hypnosis is freaky to me. I don't like that. I said, you don't realize you're being hypnotized as you listen to music in your headphones. You're being hypnotized as you look at the media. You're being hypnotized as you look around you at your peers and the things that they're doing. You're thinking, you're feeling insecure that you're not doing them. Why? Because you're so receptive that you don't realize that you're under. This is a part of the hypnosis. Now, I'm bringing that up because it taps into and exploits our already obsessive brain. It taps into and exploits our already obsessive brain. So obsessive compulsiveness. A lot of us are obsessive. We just aren't compelled to maneuver people because of our obsession. You know what I'm saying? We're not compelled to like control our environment. Some people are, some people are not. But a lot of us are obsessive. And being obsessive leads to addiction. And it's our responsibility to do internal checks on the self. Am I doing too much? Am I being imbalanced? Is this out of order? Am I eating too much? When I go to this place, do I get excited? Am I salivating, just pulling outside, thinking about this food that they have here? Have I hypnotized myself into thinking about the muffins that they have at this place? You know what I mean? When they come in, I gotta have one. You know, we obsess, and then eventually obsession becomes turns to compulsion, turns to addiction. Now, but it also turns into us driving this groove in our bodies to where our bodies now have to digest this yeast, or we have to digest this constantly, digest the hydrogenated oils, and it's those things are eroding, or even putting petroleum on our skin, and our skin in some form or fashion of products that we purchase, or these parabens on our skin that we really love to smell, but in this lotion, but these parabens we're not paying attention to are also clogging our lymph glands underneath our arms or on our faces or what have you. And these things are causing us to erode our health. Our health is eroding. So coming into that, we have to now, as we shine a light on and highlight our mental psychology, or our physical addictions, or our physical obsessions, or our environmental places, as we look at our environments and places we go into that may cause us stress, takes us back to psychology, or they may cause us environmental stress, going into this place and the smell of the chemicals in this industrialized plant that I work in literally is causing me to have tumors, you know, in my body. This can happen. Mm. These are different habitual behaviors that eventually can cause disease in the body. So how do we unlearn this? We have to go back to the origin of where the chicken laid the egg. Not which came first, the chicken or the egg, but where the chicken conceived the egg. When we take it back to where the chicken conceived the egg, then we understand that it all emanates back, it all comes back to here, this temple right here. The origin is in this temple. And this temple is where I have to do the assessment, is where I have to do the adjustment, and where I have to do the elimination of it, the disease. So whenever you're counseling someone through in talking to them as they're first giving you the first introductory information, and then you listen to your intuition, and now it is your time to give them strategies to help them to heal. Your first response will be to help them to navigate through the maze that they've put themselves in, to help them to navigate through the box that they're stuck in. We have to unlearn the hard wiring, and the hard groove that we've put ourselves in. And one of the things that was really impressed upon me while I was writing this lesson was a piece called, was a term called well, I think I was talking about this, cellular intelligence, neuroplasticity. And what this is all about is that your brain can unlearn a behavior and can learn a better behavior or worse behavior. Your brain, as you were a child, your brain is very receptive, and it is able and available to take in anything, you know, and it may have used this groove to walk like this yesterday, but tomorrow it may totally forget. How did I take those first steps again? So the child may have taken some steps yesterday, but not step again on her own for 2 or 3 days. What has to happen is she has to find that groove again. And this is why we tend to pick babies' hands up and help them to walk, to help them to find that groove and stay on that groove. Well, as adults, we tend to do something where we will take the same route to work every day. As we take the same route to work every day, then one day we get in the car and we are on vacation this week, we'll find ourselves driving on that same route. Like, man, I thought I was going to work. Well, our brains create literally a groove right there. And this is exactly why they say we only use 10% of our brains, because if we just keep going along this groove and we eat the same things the same way every day, now that sounds boring, the same things the same way, but I'm going to put you on this note. If I go to Chipotle, Olive Garden, Burger King, Wendy's, this is still the same. It's all the same to the brain. It's restaurant food. If I go to work every day and I'm on my way to work, so it takes up 10 hours of my day, 8 hours of work, 1 hour traveling, 1 hour traveling. When I say 1 hour traveling, that includes getting in the car, leaving your house, getting to work, getting yourself situated, then clocking in. That may take anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to say on average an hour. So 10 hours a day, you're doing that. But if you live in Atlanta, it probably do take an hour. If you live in New York, you know what I'm saying, some places with a lot of traffic. But the point still remains is that doing that, you find yourself in a 10-hour groove. In that 10 hours every single day, that's a groove. That's a groove. That's a groove that you're sitting in. And that groove seeks to be, that groove is like you really stay on that rhythm even when you take off and on vacation. Your body recognizes the break, but it's still going to get back in the groove once you get back to work after 7 days. So this is what it is. You know, we have to really focus in and really self-assess and really sit down, spend time, close off, and then really, as we unlearn this process that could tend to go towards disease, working in health maintenance, or we're in a process of disorder and we need to restore order to the body, okay, it means we have to stop. I call it stop, drop, and flip the script. We have to stop everything and do a mental purge to prepare for a new order. Specifically, if this is going to lead us to a health defying disorder or disease. Being able to pinpoint these things that are out of balance in our life is also key. And we have to be able to pinpoint these things and to call them forward and then to say, this will be done in moderation, or this will not be done any further, what have you, but to be able to put your life in order. And when you counsel someone, this is what you're going to have to help them to see. Even when they are full in the disease, we have to help them pull the reins back and to be still and see, what are you doing? What am I doing here? What am I doing? And what am I doing? Let me give you an example, because I know I can't ramble. Y'all just pull me back in. But when they have the audacity, when you go to the American Heart Association website, to say we don't know why people get heart disease, or we don't know the reason why, people get a certain disease. That's an absolute farce. Because if you, let's just look at something more, something that is very easy to see. If you live in a family, obesity, that's what it was. You go to obesity. I went to a website to understand the statistics on obesity. That's what it was. And they don't know why people are obese at that time. And the obesity, if you come from a family of people whom are obese and you eat just like them, you're going to receive the same results as people whom are obese. If you are in a family whom placates or what I'm trying to say, patronizes themselves, instead of getting angry, they eat. Instead of getting this, they eat. Some people may have a fast metabolism and they can't do that. Your mother may not be obese, but if she placates you with food that is full of artificial colors or flavors, you could possibly become obese. So there's another way that you need to look at the unconscious behaviors. We got to dig deeper. Our society gives us excuses and outlets. We have to take away, as healers, we have to take away those excuses. We have to eliminate those excuses, and we have to go straight to it like an arrow. That's why we take the medical history. That's why we take the family history. That goes back into our lessons again. In order to understand, where did we learn this behavior? Where do we learn this? And how do we back out the way we came in? Thank you. So that's what this is. This is a very, very important lesson, because the article, techniques for learning new behaviors, techniques for learning new behaviors, is very, very important. Human behavior is the key to unlearning our complex way that we think and grow and learn. Unfortunately, We don't really see a lot of people who are saying that they're herbalists today don't really touch on these concepts of how the mind works. But the master herbalist for the Body Temple Institute has to understand what makes things work, because it is your mind that will also heal you. Why is it that you can take, this is another thing in relation to energy and spirit, is that my teacher taught me that yes, this herb has this chemical constituent. However, the mind can program this herb to do whatever it wants to do. But we're so folly that we think that, okay, I could just give them this. No, you can't just give anyone else this herb and say, oh, you can just do this. You can just, my mind says that this works, it'll work this way. No, you can't just do that. You have to bring their mind on track with this. You have to help them to understand how this is going, because you have to help yourself to understand how this is going to work. You have to help yourself to understand and bring your own mind on track. If you decide that all I've got is Oregon grape root, this is going to have to work to remove congestion from my uterus, because that's all I got. I don't have no more money. And I can't get to Clifton Natural Foods. I can't get to the health food store today. But this is what's going to have to work for me today. So I'm going to I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to my cells. My cells. I'm talking to my tissues. I'm talking to my organs. You see how deep we got to go? So no, you can't just cook up anything and say it's going to work for somebody else. Now, you can do that for yourself, but you can't just do that for everybody. Because what the mortal mind sees is, a cup of tea, so to speak. I know this ain't a cup of tea, but I'm saying in general, they just see what it is. They don't see that. You know what I'm saying? They don't see the energy, that you believe. You're programming something, and how you program something is by programming your tissues, cells, and organs. For real, you're programming you. So if thus is the case, when you serve it up to someone else, then you better have these chemicals correct, and then your counseling helps them to come on board. You understand? Your counseling helps them to agree, believe, and understand, and them to bring their organs, tissues, and cells in alignment with what you're serving. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a bad analogy. I mean, when it's bad, I mean like pimp game type of analogy, right? It's really not good. But y'all understand this though. Dig it. Like when a person abuses their spouse, and people know that the spouse is being abused. But we know that we as the family members know this person is being abused. This is not the correct behavior of a relationship. But the woman, I'm gonna use man and woman. I hate to do that because I don't want to seem like men are the only abusers, because I just read an article about a woman abusing her husband. But did you say beat him, Lisa?
No, I said yep. Yes, there's a lot of abusive women.
But when she is in that relationship with him, the dynamics that they have is one where he can bring her cells, tissues, and organs. He knows how to push those buttons. You feel me? He knows how to push those buttons to make her and her body agree with the relationship. You see? If we can do it for that externally, we can make our bodies agree with health too. You see what I'm saying? Did that make sense?
That
You know what
makes
I'm saying?
sense.
If we can make our bodies agree with abuse and self-destruction, why can't we make our bodies agree with health and self-construction?
That was a deep analogy.
That's
Yeah.
my. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying though? And I use the dirty analogy because we all can relate to it, and we understand that there's some mind control there. So what we have to do is use our own mind control to control ourselves. And we have to inspire our client, the person whom we serve, to control their selves. You might have to fake it till you make it, but use pimp game on yourself to make yourself stop eating that Kentucky Fried Chicken. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But you got to do what you got to do if you want to live. And so what I love is I have a client, and I'm going to use this as a case study for us. But I have a client who has stage 4 ovarian cancer. What she decided to do was she said, I can't walk this journey on my own. I need y'all to prepare the food for us. You prepare the food for me. Because I will pull up at a Popeyes today on my way home from your house. You hear me? That's how serious she was.
Mm.
She was like, I cannot leave
Wow.
here, you know what I'm saying, without a meal plan because I'm not about to do it. I'm gonna pull up. I'm hardwired to pull up at a fast food restaurant. And if this is a ovarian cancer is the endocrine system. These are the chemicals of your body. If the chemicals of your body deal with also the chemicals of your brain, then you are saying I need to have better chemicals and I need that help. And that's how you got to do it. Is you may have to ask for that help, and that's where you as the herbalist come in to help them. You as the herbalist come in to help them figure out what it is. And that's essentially by her coming to that conclusion, that was us working together to figure out what is the cause here. What is making you feel this way? You know? And so once we really had a whole, we literally sat there for like 3 hours, and then she came back with her mother, and we sat there for another 3 hours, and then she came back again, and then we
What?
even went to her house and did a presentation with her whole family
Oh, that's
because
fair. Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
because the point was she said I need everyone to support me in unlearning the process that got me here. You know, it's deep. We're deep. It's deep because our peer matrix supports our self-destructive behaviors. Our family matrix also supports that. A lot of people say I drink coffee because it reminds me of my mother.
Mm.
I eat this because it reminds me of my mother or my father or my family member or this. When it comes to cheesecake, I will not. I think about my grandmother every time. She made the best cheesecake ever. You know what I'm saying? And I will eat it with that much, to the extent that when they made the raw cheesecake, that was me today. Like, cause I thought once we go to raw, babe, it's gonna be over for me. I'm not gonna be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my reason for like, well, you know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, cause we got vegan cheesecake now. See what I'm saying? Like I finally found that thing. So you talking about going raw, like you taking it to a whole nother. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because food is an intimate thing for us. Like I said, we're all obsessed to a degree. We just don't know it. Now, addictive is when we become compulsive, and as we feel compelled to do something, touch somebody, turn the light, and do it certain things a certain way. You know what I mean? And then addiction is where I don't even think. I'm not even thinking anymore. I just do. Like I'm about to just go. and get this cigarette, and I'm just about to go and pull in it's like she said, I'm about to pull in the Popeyes today. Even though you told me XYZ, I agree, XYZ, my sales don't agree. I'm about to pull in the Popeyes because I'm hungry on the way home from your house. Feel me? So we have to understand the complexity of the human mind and the complexity of the exploitation and pimp game that has been placed upon us to make us want self-destructive things. On that note, I'm going to end it right there because I want you all to research neuroplasticity, NEUROPLACTI. I'm about to blow it up, y'all. Let me write it down. Hold up. Neuroplasticity. Okay. You got that?
Yes.
I want y'all to look up neuroplasticity, and I want you to understand how the brain gets stuck on track and how people have even in certain situations of not being able to walk, people have relearned how to walk. People have went on a whole nother track of their brain to help them to repair damaged tissues and to help them to change behaviors. So that's what I have for you all today. Do you have any questions in relation to the lessons you have done or turned in?
Oh, yes. To go way back because I'm redoing it. We had changed a question in
One or two.
yeah, it was either one or two. Maybe it was
one.
Oh yeah, it was number 4.
okay. And what was that actually supposed to? What did we change the question to actually be?
I think
Well, it
maybe
says
Because it used to be name the pesticides that other countries banned and the U.S. still allows, and then what effect do those pesticides have on us? But I think that was the old one. I can't tell trying to go back in memory as I was writing notes if that was the change or the old one.
this should be the change because I took it off here and put it back. I took it off here, fixed it, and put it back. Name 2 or more of the countries that use the pesticides that the U.S. has banned and what fruit and vegetables they produce. Thus, Mexico uses DDT. DDT was used it doesn't use it anymore, but I think at the time that I wrote this, DDT was not able to be used in America, but in Mexico it was able to use it.
Okay, I just went back to the PDF and now I see it.
See, and what my issue with that question was that I did my research and I just kept coming to a dead end. And I think I felt like I came to a dead end with that question is because the wording when I was researching it's the wording that they use banned and it's other types of words that it just made me very unsure of whether if that other country still used it or not, because it looks like China uses a lot of chemicals or whatnot, but when you go into the different websites, the literature just seems to just throw me off like the court system does. Type stuff.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt because now the wheels are turning. I'm going back. Like that's what we changed it to because I thought that's where I ran
Okay, here's the
into the
research
problem.
question. Google this. Pesticides that are used in other countries that the U.S. has banned. Five
I tried that.
pesticides used in the U.S. are banned in other countries. Okay, that's not the one. Toxic pesticides banned in other countries. Here's another research question. Pesticides that are banned in the U.S. Top pesticides used in countries.
My face show everything. I be thinking and I be looking at myself like, "Dang, you frowning? Looking all mean?"
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I have a website called Pesticide Action Network. Uh-oh.
Pesticide Action Network.
Wait a minute. Okay, we're not gonna go there.
Okay.
No, don't go there.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Okay.
We can certainly assess that China in the Central America, South America are using banned pesticides. Pesticides used in
Look,
other countries.
look at that real quick and see if we can pull from your
What
question about pesticides that other countries have banned that the U.S. still allows.
under what Google search?
Um, I just put it in the chat. Can you see it? Can you see it, Mama? I want you to click on it too.
Hold on, I was trying to. I'm sorry, my mind was focusing on something that just downloaded.
Uh,
All right. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, this is a deep thing. Okay, I just got a spreadsheet from that website that I was telling you about,
huh.
which is very interesting. I'm about to tell you about it in a minute.
I don't see nothing in there.
What? You don't see nothing in
In
what?
the
On
in
this
the,
thing.
in the group chat, you don't see it. The
Yeah, I
link.
don't
You see
know.
it?
And on Messenger on or Google
No,
Hangout.
in here. In here.
No.
Oh, here it is. It says, "Look at this," and
Yeah.
it's relevant news article: legacy pesticides used.
Yes.
What the? Okay, hold on. Maybe
Reveal 5 pesticides used in the U.S. Now this is the reverse of what I said. 5 pesticides used in the U.S. And I saw this one on top too.
That are
It's used in the U.S.
yeah,
that are
that's
banned in
banned
other
in other countries,
countries.
and I think that's where that's what I kept finding more of stuff that we're using. This I don't know. it's that was so far back. I was trying to remember, but I had this link for a reason. So, but I figured that would be good if
Okay,
if
what's a trip is total bans per country. Okay, so I just got this download of, and I should put it. I'll put it where you can find it. Total
Okay.
bans, one ban per country. What? So I'm trying to discern. They have a whole list of over 100, over 300. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I'm upset. I can't see it.
Hold on. No, this is how you see it. I'm gonna show you how to see it. This is
Okay.
400, 396 chemicals. Tag size. I'm sorry. Hold on. This is their writing. It's 373 chemicals that are banned in other countries, but are not banned in the
in the
U.S.
U.S. See, I'm pretty sure that's what I kept coming up with. So maybe the question that I wrote down is what you said when we changed it, because I think it was the
It
other
doesn't make any sense because number one,
way around.
the U.S. does not ban certain things, but there are some countries that allow the U.S. to grow, that allow Chiquita to grow in other countries, and they allow them to use chemicals that are very dangerous for the people.
Right, and that was another thing that brought to my interest, and it was just also confusing. It was just like, okay, well,
Yeah,
wow,
that
we go,
question is, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Oh my, what are you doing? Okay, good. The computer was flaking out like we asking some serious information, boy. No,
Right.
y'all, we getting into some deep stuff. We just trying to look up pesticides. I know that red number 40 is banned in Italy and
Mm-hmm.
Switzerland. They don't allow their candies or anything to have that color,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not banned here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all them flaming hot Cheetos our children be eating.
Yep. Every color, every candy. And the beer.
Okay, now go to the next. If you go to this Google search,
What's that?
where oh yeah, there we go. I'm gonna share my screen. This should help us right here. Some pesticides in use around the world. This is a tripped out cultural survival quarterly magazine. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Everything came across. DDT is banned for corporate use. I'm scrolling down the page. Can you see it?
No, that's banned in the U.S. too. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, I was just about to say that, Baba. Banned for corporate use in the U.S. since 1972. DDT is still in use in many countries. DDT contamination has led to the rejection of beef shipments to the U.S. from Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala. In 1976, 500,000 pounds of beef from El Salvador was rejected for DDT levels. Okay?
Mm.
BHC, banned for all use in the U.S. since 1978, and it is used on export crops in such countries as Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, and Peru. It often ends up on produce exported to the U.S. So produce. And the BHC is produced locally in India and Kenya. In Kenya, no protection is provided for the workers who mix those chemicals. It's believed to cause cancer and sterility. This chemical is used on pineapples in Hawaii and Taiwan and bananas in North Africa. In addition, it is exported to Puerto Rico, Honduras, Ecuador, and Hawaii. Okay. What about cyclodines? It's banned or restricted in the United States and Canada. Chlorodyne. This chemical is a mixture of terpenoid compounds used mainly as a soil insecticide, but low levels have been taken into stems and leaves of plants and from there to cow's milk. Root crops also retain residues, like peanuts is a root crop, potatoes, carrots, because it adheres to soil, so transfer to rivers and lakes has not been significant, however. Well, and it is a contact and stomach poison producing hyperactivity and violent convulsions. Oh my gosh. This insecticide, Canada ban, is banned in Canada. It's heptachlor, heptachlor. Is banned in Canada for use in Canada, and it was found in cow's milk. Let me see more and more in the U.S. Let's see. Aldrin was suspended in the U.S. in 1974, and it was banned or severely restricted in more than 20 countries. It's caused the death of 13 people in southern Brazil in 1975. So do you guys have this link? I'm going to put this link in the text chat.
Okay.
As I scrolled down, could y'all see the window? I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay, now Bianca, if you go over to the side, to the left side of your window, your left hand side, you're gonna see Google, and you're gonna see two bubbles right there, a blue and a white one. Click it. It says chat, and your text chat should open up on your right hand side. How about now? Can you see it?
No, not on my phone, but I can see it on when I'm on my laptop.
Mm-hmm. What I'll do is I'm gonna put it in a text chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in a text chat that told you that the live class was here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I wonder where Miles is today. I didn't put it on Facebook.
Okay, I got that. What you just sent. But that's not chat. I did it by accident one day, and I just had to do it by accident again.
You did what by accident?
Oh, the chat thing. I did it by accident one day, and I can't figure out how to do it again today. But I did get your link, though. I just got that.
Okay. I know. As soon as you said it, I realized I made that mistake. Well, hey, I ain't shabby. I ain't shabby. If somebody see this class, Baba said I made this class public. I didn't click
Oh.
that link. I said I ain't shabby. They can watch the class. Y'all better buy it. Look, go ahead, thebodytempleinstitute.com. You can purchase the Master Herbalist class, and you can be taking these classes along with us. You know, if you would like to see a synopsis of what we are learning, or if you'd like to see a syllabus of what we are learning, our classes, that is also on thebodytempleinstitute.com. Please join us in our classes. This is only one of the classes that we have for the Master Herbalist class and certification program. Yes, you can too be a Master Herbalist, and you can make the difference between Google Herbalists and real herbalists.
That sounded wonderful, though.
Come on. Ain't no shame in the game.
Wait, who just joined us?
Yeah, sure. Join us.
Somebody
Okay.
joined us.
Somebody named Black.
With love and light, I leave you this night with lots to study and lots to think about. I can put this video in the text chat, so if you need to go back over it, but if you don't feel it, it's public.
Where are all the videos?
I don't really do my best to make them unlisted. Okay. So that we can see them when we take them, and if you need them. Now, I was putting them on the Body Temple students website.